Actually, Cigarettes started as I just had this weird collection of songs. This is gonna make no sense now, but I was really into like Madonna's like 80s singles and like New Order and stuff like that, and so I made this really like electro kind of stuff, but the lyrics were kind of similar to what they are now. But it was really like dance, electro pop, like Erasure kind of music, and that's how Cigarettes started. It was like that. And then over time it just got darker and darker for some reason. It ended up being more like Smiths and like The Cure and R.E.M. And then Jesus and Mary Chain kind of stuff. That record is actually online right now. It's like a collection of demos, but it was released like briefly online, and I guess fans like seem to like it now. But the band I have now, I kind of reacted against that record and like did like the first EP as like kind of reaction against the sound of that one. So it's kind of a weird blessing for me now because everyone seems to like that one too. And we don't really play we don't play the stuff live because it's so different to me. But yeah, going back to what you were saying, it was just the band started as like a solo project, had like a drummer and a bass player and a keyboard player, and then it just kept changing sounds for like years until we did the first EP. And then from that, it feels like that's when like the group like really solidified and became like it had its identity at that point. Yeah, it's funny the way that came about was I was like a huge fan of the Smiths actually, and I loved like their like the way that their art was really consistent. Like Morrissey basically just using like photos from his private collection like across all their singles, and so I thought actually Belle and Sebastian was kind of like that too. So I thought I wanted like a really cohesive kind of like look for like Cigarettes. And I told my friend maybe like I would use like actresses or something, like photos of actresses, kind of like the Smiths. And he was like, no, you should use like surrealistic like 30s photography. I was like, oh, that's a good idea. Then I remember hearing about Man Ray and seeing some of his work, and all of a sudden I saw it, and it was just like a perfect like coincidence that he said that. Because when I saw it, I just felt like it was perfect for music. And since then, it feels like I can't really. It's just like too perfect at the moment, you know. So yeah, so I'm a big fan of him, and it seems like people seem to like them together. So basically, with our first EP, we thought we would just come up with like a label to put that EP out on vinyl and on CD, etc. And also the first single, Affection, and Keep on Loving You. So it was just always it just felt really natural to kind of spearhead a label, and it seems like at first it'll probably just be like the EP and the single, but I mean at some point I'd love to like start signing bands to it or something. That'd be great. So that's kind of where we are, but it just kind of happened out of necessity. The label's called Spanish Prayers, and I think we have vinyl out like in a month or something, so it'll be the first time you can like see it on the like imprinted or whatever. It's been fun. It's like a different workload I had to get used to, and then like plus when I was first doing this, I was like working like a part-time job as well in the city. So since then, you just kind of get used to it, you know. It gets the hardest when you're on tour, because then you're like, I don't know, when I'm on tour, like I kind of end up in like vacation mode almost. So like I like start like not answering emails and things like that because I'm just having fun with everybody. So that's when it gets harder. Yeah, when I'm back here, it's easier. You just kind of answer emails and etc. And it's pretty easy. But hopefully someone else can take it over, because I'd rather not keep doing it and like focus just on writing or something else. So. It's feeling more like a band, but it's kind of like a in between at the moment. It's always been a solo project from like day one, and I just kind of started getting like different members as I went. Like, so it's kind of more like a collective almost. But it's just all my writing, and it's all sort of everything it's all like my vision of like what I wanted. I just kind of get different players to kind of help out and to do things with it. But now the current lineup, I'm really excited about it and I'm really happy with, so I think I want to stay with the lineup. It might end up being more like a band, you know? Seems like some bands kind of do that, like you see like, what was it, like Bon Iver, like Beirut kind of start off as a solo group, and they become like more of a band as time goes on or something. So maybe it'll be like that, something like that, or, you know, basically solo. That's been great because it's just led to more of like what I want to do. So it's pretty much opened a bunch of doors like that I was wanting to open. So I'm really excited about that, and it just keeps kind of going. So it keeps going more and more. So I'm just excited just so we can like have money to do an LP basically and do it the way we want. So yeah, it's fantastic. I mean, I had, wished for things like that to happen, over time, but I didn't really expect it. I kind of had like a plan of attack when I did the last single, that was really inspired by like seeing like kind of what The Weeknd did, like when they first came out, or like even Charlie XCX, where they kind of just had like the record in like one place or something like that, like just like their site, and it was kind of secretive almost. And I just thought just like release a single and do that kind of thing, and so it was kind of planned a certain way, but I didn't expect, anything that special to happen. So that was a surprise, but nice surprise. I think so. Like it feels like it worked for me. Like when I was in El Paso, like no one cared about like the EP was out since like 2012, and like in El Paso we were playing like dead shows. There was like gonna be like 2 people or like no one at some of the shows. And all the people I showed it to there like didn't really understand it, the EP. When I moved here, it was kind of the same for a second, but it felt like people started to kind of, I don't know, just notice more once I moved here for some reason. So, it feels like it, and that was kind of the same idea as, a lot of my heroes that had moved to the city, it was the same idea, like Dylan or something, or whatever, where they moved to New York and all of a sudden, they just like take off somehow. So I guess I do believe in it, yeah. Yeah, for sure. I was gonna say, it's basically kind of what I'm trying to do at the moment, just like really, like a record like Blood on the Tracks, where it's like all just romantic the whole time. I just wanted Cigarettes to kind of be like that for a while, where it's just strictly romantic for a while, Maybe later we'll talk about other things, but I just want it to be really, like that's just, like you go to this band if you like want to like get to that place, And well, obviously it's like the natural mode of writing for me as well, so it kind of works out. Yeah, my mind's kind of blank that way. Like I love film, like I'd love to, like kind of like we'll dabble a little bit in like screenwriting or something. So I'd like to maybe direct or something in like maybe 10 years or something like that. But yeah, right now it's just very, like as strict as possible writing, It's kind of taken everything else out of my life almost. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, my favorite film is The Red Shoes. It's like this amazing Technicolor film. So that film, like, yeah, it just like ranks for me as the most like gorgeous film I've ever seen. So, and also like the philosophies in the film too. It's kind of about you have to just do art because it's just like a part of you. It's like an instinct or something. So it's like a really big theme in The Red Shoes. So that resonates with me as well as just the imagery being like fantastic. And also, the film I've been thinking about a lot that I think about with Cigarettes is Le Avventura, the Italian film. Just because it's so, I don't know, it has this like sexual vibe to it, and it's really like kind of exotic locations and just really beautiful. So we're actually going to record a record in a movie theater, like the LP, and I think we're going to have that film kind of on as we're recording it in the background. Seems like kind of a sweet idea to do. So those two for sure. They're ones I think about a lot. Just thanks for all the sweetness to all the fans.
Seeing you from